Live better and longer with the Fitzness Show, hosted by fitness expert, author, and TV personality Fitz Kohler. She'll tell you why diets are dumb, supplements are snake oil, and the truth about how you can earn a lean, hard, pain-free, and athletic body. Now for our favorite bossy blonde, Fitz Kohler.
Well, hi team, I'm Fitz Kohler, your uber bossy fitness pro and race announcer from fitzness.com. And welcome to the Fitzness Show. Today we have a whole arsenal of things we're going to chat about, starting with the Donna Mother's Day 5K. I'm going to tell you about my Mother's Day. We've got the Cocodona 250. We've got one of my friends to chat about. It's a very sad and stressful story. What else? Oh, we're going to talk about you. That's right. You finally getting your stuff together and becoming the person you want/need/should be. So says me. Before we get started, if you haven't done so yet, order You Supercharge, the exact formula for fitness, weight loss, and longevity, not only for you, but for your bestie who you love and you'd love to see them live better, live longer. You want them to age like a badass. You want them to raise fit kids. Do you have any friends who are parents who could use a little kick in the can, a little support on figuring out how to raise their kids? It's in there. Chapters for men, chapters for women, chapters for nutrition and exercise and all the things. So get that. And then if you haven't done so yet, click like, subscribe wherever you listen to the Fitzness Show. If you click subscribe, you will get notification whenever I publish a show. If you click download, this is the inside scoop on having your favorite podcast handy. If you click download, my show will be in your phone, even if you don't have Wi-Fi, even if you don't have cell reception. Got it? So let's start chatting about the Donna Mother's Day 5K, which was absolutely incredible. If you're unfamiliar with the Donna, it starts with the Donna National Marathon to finish breast cancer. It's the only marathon in America dedicated to finishing breast cancer. They also have two other events throughout the year. It's the Donna Fearless series. May offers the Donna Mother's Day 5K. And then October, you get the Donna 5K at TPC Sawgrass, which is one of the world's most fancy schmancy golf courses. And of course, you should be there. So these are three fantastic events that I'm blessed to be the race announcer for. And this one's especially sweet. It's sold out. So here's the deal. The running industry is having a big boom, and it might just be the Fitz Kohler effect. I don't know, but I can tell you that the Donna Marathon was sold out, Gasparilla was sold out, OC Marathon was sold out, and the Donna Mother's Day 5K was sold out. So I shouldn't blame myself. Really, are all of these people coming to see me? I don't know. It could also be attributed to the fact that my races are awesome, have incredible reputations. They provide the most beautiful courses, the sweetest swag. They market their tails off, and they're surrounded by great people. But it could also be me. I mean, whatever. I don't know if it's correlational or causational that my races are selling out, but I'll let you decide, and I won't go any further on that. But the Donna Mother's Day 5K this past Saturday was extraordinary. It's hard to, it is hard to describe. I mean, the event feels so personal. So many repeat customers. It's not only the organization, Amanda Napolitano and her sidekick, Claire Cameron, do an extraordinary job putting all these events on. Donna Deegan, the founder of the Donna Foundation, she's also mayor of Jacksonville, which is pretty cool. But then we just have so many people who keep returning. They just really care about the cause. Maybe they haven't been affected by breast cancer, but they keep coming back. And so it's a family reunion, even with folks we've never met before. These events are very special in that way. And for some reason, it just feels easy, even though the marathon weekend is big time and there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word pressure because I never feel pressure, but there's a big expectation for big hoopla and everything to go great. It just doesn't feel high pressure because it's fun. And that goes from the top down. So Amanda Napolitano, high five to you. Thank you for being a phenomenal race director. I think because you have your ducks in a row, everything flows off the duck's back so easily, and it's wonderful. So yeah, big time fun. We had, I think, about 60 to 70 breast cancer survivors attend this weekend's race, about a dozen or so women actively going through treatment. So in the midst of chemo, some at the very beginning of their treatment. And then we had several women come through that have stage 4 breast cancer. It's metastatic. Their doctors have told them they'll never be cured of it. They will just live with it, which is both scary and exciting. The fact that you can live with it, right? You can get this stage 4 diagnosis and then keep going for 20 years. And we see many women come through that say, I'm stage 4, 20 years out. And that brings a lot of hope to everybody else. So those women and men are the reason for the season. I say men, we've got Jim Keegan comes out to every race. He's a 13-year breast cancer survivor, always reminding folks that men get breast cancer too. So guys, if you feel something or see something, say something. Don't just blow it off. There's another guy. I wish I could remember him. I wish I could remember his name, but yeah, they're showing up more and more men who've survived breast cancer, which is wonderful to see them and celebrate them, and then wonderful for them to remind others to catch it early, right? Catch it early. And then what else? We have Jeremy LaTraverse and his family. Jeremy is a firefighter. He doesn't have breast cancer. His wife hasn't had breast cancer. Thank goodness their child hasn't had breast cancer, yet they come out for every race. He's a firefighter. He comes out in full firefighter gear. Sometimes it's pink, and it's just wonderful. He just really cares about this organization. So many friends, Team Runners Elite, they're everywhere. I don't know. And then there's all the people that I've maybe not met before, but then they introduce themselves and say, hey, I've been coming to this event for the past 5 years. I love you. Thanks for doing what you do. And I think, oh my gosh, how are we not already best friends? In fact, oh my gosh, I wish I could remember their name. A couple grabbed me and they said just that. We've been coming and we love what you do. Thank you. And it's crazy that anyone thanks me for doing what I do because I love to do what I do, right? But they said they were coming to Gainesville this weekend. The Morgan Wallen concert is in Gainesville in our football stadium, the Swamp, Ben Hill Griffin. And so they mentioned they were coming, and I said, oh my gosh, I tried to get tickets, and I did. I was in the queue as soon as they went on sale, but it took a while. And by the time my number came up, the tickets were already up to $450 a piece. I honestly just didn't want to drop it. I would have dropped it for Garth or Brooks, but sorry, Morgan Wallen, I wasn't willing to pay $1,000 for 2 tickets. So I mentioned that to them. And then I said, oh, well, I happen to be going to Knoxville this weekend anyways for work. And they go, oh, we have an extra ticket. If you want it, you can have it. I thought, I would just go jump off the little chair standing next to me and fall to my death. Extra ticket to Morgan Wallen. I don't even know how that happens, but I guess if you're not a country fan, you don't know and you don't care. But if you are a country fan, you know and you care and you understand the suffering that I am incurring right now. The fact that there is a ticket for me and I can't use it, but I love to work. So I'll be off doing other wonderful things. But yeah, we just had a great time as per usual. One of our featured survivors is this woman, Anne. And so she was diagnosed about a month prior or started treatment a month prior. She came out with 20 friends. They called themselves Anne's Army, which is very sweet. And she told me that she was going to shave her head that night. So Saturday night after the Mother's Day 5K, she was shaving her head. And I remember being there. I remember shaving my head. It was not easy. I mean, I didn't do it. My hairdresser did it. Although, why didn't I need a hairdresser if she was just going to shave it? But anywho, I worked so hard not to sob the whole time. You know, some women and men I see on socials, they get the group together and they have wine and then they giggle while they're shaving their head. That wasn't me. I was not giggling at all. In fact, I was doing everything I could to fight the urge to just sob because I had my kids with me and I wanted to be brave for them. I don't know if I was brave, but it was hard. It was hard. And she said, I'm shaving my head tonight. I was like, oh, sweet girl. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And here's also interesting. So Anne's children were there, young kids, and her ex-husband. And I love this story. I don't love that they got divorced. I'm sorry that happened. For whatever reason, they're divorced. But husband moved about 8 houses away. So they're on the same block. And he can be a highly involved dad, which I love. I mean, I've never been divorced, but I imagine if I were divorced, I would do whatever it took to take care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my whole laser focus would be be the perfect ex-wife just so it would be good for the kids. I can't imagine being hostile towards an ex-husband or the father of my children. I just couldn't imagine doing that. And so this couple, she's probably not perfect, but role modeling so hardcore because he lives right down the street, so he can interact with the kids. He was there to support her on the 5K, and he was telling me about how he had great intentions to contribute and help her through her cancer care. And I thought, that's magic, right? That's just good people. That's just good people stuff. So I like that very much. And then what else? Lots of love, lots of groping, lots of hand-holding. You know I'm a gropey announcer anyways. I'm all running around the country, groping everybody, holding their hand and hugging them. But the Donna races are particularly gropey, particularly hand-holdy, particularly sweet, and I love every minute of it. So everybody who let me hold their hands, thanks so much. And then we had a special guest. Our special guest was the Icemen, the Jacksonville Icemen hockey team. Their mascot, Bang, came out. And I got to work with Bang when I announced for the Jacksonville Icemen. And he's very fun, very sweet. We shared a dressing room, a locker room, which was kind of cool. I met his wife and daughter, Frankie and River, at the hockey games. But anyways, he came out and he's so fun. I mean, golly, at the hockey games, he's raucous and rowdy and he stands on the chairs and he bangs on the plexiglass and he's a hoot. Oh, and he also ice skates in that crazy mascot outfit and he's good. I know he never falls, which is awesome. He's just so good at what he does, a total pro. And one of the Icemen executives reached out to see if we could get Fang to the Donna 5K. And of course, the answer was yes. So it was fun having Fang there. He was very silly. He's very, how do these mascots do it? They make you laugh even though they can't speak, but he's great. And then this was his wife's Mother's Day treat. They came up to me at the end of the race and Frankie said, guess what? My Mother's Day present is what? Their daughter, River, walked for the very first time at our race. So I think that means something, right? I think River is going to be a talented runner, and I expect wholeheartedly for her to run through one of my finish lines one day with me calling her the champion. I think you have to, right? If you take your first steps at a race, you probably have to, at some level, run and race and be pretty good. So that's my assessment. Sorry for putting the pressure on River, but I'm just calling it the way I see it. So that was great. And then my other highlight for being in Jacksonville was dinner with Jason Rue. That's right. If you don't know Jason Rue, you are not paying attention. You should go to my Instagram account, take a look-see. Jason has lost, I think, 240 pounds. He is the ultimate weight loss success story. He was very large and out of shape, and he just made the decision and changed his habits. And now, he's just this young, healthy, strapping guy now. And I love him. He is just as sweet as they come and supportive. And he's a part of my Hottie Body Fitzness Challenge group on Facebook. So if you're not a part of that, get with it. Hottie Body Fitzness Challenge. But he joined, and I've enjoyed harassing him, poking him, encouraging him. He really has needed a kick in the can to get with strength training. But overall, he's had incredible success. And one of the great gifts of what I do is all the friends that I make. So we were able to go to dinner on Friday night, and that was great. Oh, we went to an Asian fusion restaurant called Hawkers. So if you're in downtown Jacksonville, Hawkers, it's Hawker, not like a spit hawker, Hawker. Anywho, I'm a vegetarian. He is not. So I ordered tofu. And when he came, I asked if he had ever had tofu. He said, no. I said, please try it. And he did. Now, I don't think most carnivores are really excited to get their hands on tofu, to get their first taste of tofu. I don't know if that is all that appetizing, but he tried it and it was so cute. He goes, it tastes like a churro. And then I thought, ding, ding, ding. Welcome, future vegetarian. So here, he may not be a future vegetarian. However, when you think tofu tastes like a churro, that's a good sign. And this one actually did. It was crispy and it had 5-spice seasoning on that. I don't know what 5-spice seasoning is, but it made it taste like a churro. And that's a good enough reason to want to try tofu, right? Anything that tastes like a churro, I think most people want to try because churros are tasty except for all the, I don't know, just the flour and the sugar and the oil and the things that make it so bad for you, but they taste really great. So anyways, that was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me for dinner, Jason. I had a great time, and hopefully we could do that again too. Okay, so let's continue with Mother's Day because I had a Mother's Day. I'm a mom. I have two kids. I have Ginger and Parker. And so Ginger was not in town on Mother's Day. She had to work. She's announcing Mud Girl Charlotte, which is awesome. She does those when I'm double booked, and it's a lot of fun, and she kills it. She's so fantastic. So she wasn't in town, and I didn't have my heart broken. Listen, I am not the slave of Hallmark. If Hallmark says Valentine's Day is February 14th and everyone needs to show love for their, I don't care. I don't care. You know what? If you're my romantic partner, you can show me love every day or any day. I have no affinity for February 14th. It actually confuses me how many people are so just committed to that day being so meaningful. And if you have a date, it's the best date. And it's worth spending triple the amount of money just to eat at the same restaurant you already eat at just because it's February 14th. Or worse, those people who are tortured by the fact they don't have a Valentine. What? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so I'm not sure who decided that Mother's Day was the second weekend of May or second Sunday of May. Doesn't matter to me. My kids are mostly great to me year round, and they can be kind to me in a special way year round. That date means absolutely nothing. So Ginger's absence didn't mean anything. I often work on my birthday, which is a wonderful thing to do. I love the work that I do. I love earning. Making a living is exciting thing for me. So working on my birthday, high five to that. And then I can have birthday celebrations way before. My birthday's coming up May 27th. For I think it's the one of only 2 days I'll be home that week, but that's fine. It's fine. If my birthday up, I'm gone on it. It doesn't matter. We just celebrate before or after and whoop-de-doo. So Ginger's absence does not break my heart at all. In fact, a couple of days before Mother's Day, before she left for Charlotte, we had a great day. We went to get pedicures in the morning. Ladies, you know what that's like, going to get a pedicure with someone you love. That was fun. And then we went out to see Michael Jackson, the movie, and then went to dinner. And let me tell you, that Michael Jackson movie, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The acting was great. The timeline, the script was wonderful. I've heard a lot of pushback, people saying, well, it's not a complete story, so I don't want to see it. You're right. It doesn't go into his whole life. It basically is the time frame of how he got started in the family business to when he got out of the family business and escaped his father, Joe, who was very abusive. And I can tell you that as a child, I was obsessed with Michael Jackson. I loved him. I loved his music. I wanted to marry him. He was my dream husband, as weird as that sounds. I loved him. I also loved Prince and Billy Idol. So whatever. I have weird tastes. And also I love Men in Uniform, which are completely the opposite of Michael and Prince. It's very strange. Anywho, I'm going to continue. I worshiped him. And then at some point, things got strange. There were allegations made about him abusing children. And I struggled with it because I thought, well, I still love these songs. And the way he dances and moves, I still really enjoy that. But then, like, you can't hurt children and get away with it. There was never a guilty verdict. So I don't know. I do mostly believe in the American justice system, but also OJ got free, right? So anyways, it's a shame. It's a shame when people fall off their pedestal, right? You think someone's so wonderful in every way, and then they're not really wonderful in every way. Can I still appreciate him for what he was as an entertainer? The answer is yes. The movie, it answers a lot of questions, and the movie goes through a bunch of scenarios that I think we've all heard before, but it just did it in excellent ways. The young men, the little boys who played Michael Jackson through his childhood, through adult, they were phenomenal. I mean, they nailed it so hard. It was so good. Not only the speaking and the way they looked, but the way they sang. There was some live singing from these guys. And then their dancing was phenomenal. It was great. The script was great. The acting, wonderful. I wouldn't be surprised if the man who played Joe Jackson, the father, gets an Academy Award or something like that. I mean, what do I know? But he was good. He was so scary. He made me scared. He made me loathe him. Every time he came on the screen, I thought, boo, bad thing. So he played the perfect villain. Anyways, great movie. Highly recommend it, especially if you enjoy Michael Jackson music. But it was cool because Ginger really loved it too. And it's nice to have things in common. We have so much in common, and love of all types of music is definitely one of them. She can sing, she and I can sing all the songs from the 50s and the 60s and 70s and stuff today. And, it was great. We got in the car on the way home. She wanted to play the different Michael Jackson music. And I don't think she'd ever heard Human Nature before. And she really dug that. So, anyways, that wasn't intended for Mother's Day. It just happened to be a great day, but we're going to do something when she comes home. Also, I insist that my children give me homemade gifts. This is all I ever want. I want time with them and homemade gifts. And so in the past, I've had custom videos created for me. And I think Ginger's written songs and performed them, artwork, homemade chocolate. Parker's made me chocolate covered strawberries a couple times. So this year on Sunday, Parker was home, my son. And I had a great morning. I went to lunch with a friend, spent time with my dogs, and then he wakes up late. So I was like, when you wake up, we will watch the end of the Amazon TV show we're watching, Scarpetta. Highly recommend if you like murder mysteries. That's a good one. Nicole Kidman, my God, she's so talented. Anyway, so we had 2 more episodes of that to watch. And I said, we're going to watch that. We're going to hold hands. And bless his heart, he holds my hand. He holds my hand in the car. He holds my hand when we watch shows together. He's so freaking sweet. And do you want to swoon? I swoon so hard. I just love holding his hand. I love snuggling with Ginger Bean too. But anyhow, so we held hands and watched our show. And then he drew me a picture and he made me a video. And then we went to dinner. It was a great, great Mother's Day. So I hope you all had a wonderful day, whether you are a mother or you had a mother or you know a mother. I hope you were doing something fabulous, so being happy about moms. And if not, I hope you had a great day doing something else. But I really enjoyed being a mom. Also, my mom kicks ass. I have a lot of fun with my mom. She's a very funny person at this point, but I love her desperately, and I'm so fortunate she's mine. So I know you don't listen to my podcast, but let's pretend you do. I love you, Mom. Thanks. And we will be right back. My brand new book, You Supercharge, the exact formula for fitness, weight loss, and longevity, is out right now and has something for everybody. Ladies, chapter Full Throttle Femininity is dedicated to all the things you think you can't control, including menopause, weight loss, maintaining muscle mass, building bone density, and earning yourself a JJ of steel. Guys, chapter Man Mode was written just for you. You'll learn how to combat menopause, tune up your ticker, banish a beer belly for good, maximize your muscles, and earn the most powerful pecker on the planet. From the ground on up, from the inside and out, let's supercharge your body and mind and make you unstoppable. Order signed copies of You Supercharged at fitzness.com in the United States, Amazon, everywhere else. We're back. Now we're going to talk about something nobody wants to talk about, but we keep talking about on this show because why not? We're going to talk about sex and orgasms and vibrators. Holy hell. So if you've been paying attention on my socials, you've seen it and you know what I'm talking about. But a few weeks ago, a company reached out to me and they said, hey, we would like to send you one of our products for review. And I looked at their products and I thought, oh, fun vibrators, great. And then I thought, there's no way I'm going to get one, use this thing and get on my podcast or on Instagram and say, hey guys, I just used this toy and it was great. I'm just not going to do that, right? So I said, well, how about you send me products for a giveaway? And they said, sure. And so it comes and they're very cute and they look like high quality products. And then I think, how the hell am I going to deal with this? What am I going to say? And I thought probably for about 45 seconds. And then I thought, screw it. I'm just going to go full throttle Fitz Kohler. And I'm going to offer up an orgasm giveaway. Here we go. And so I did. And the responses have been so much fun. Listen, if you're listening before May 18th, 2026, go to my Instagram page and you got to follow me on Instagram, but then tag a friend or just if you write the word hi in the comment section or hello or that's weird, whatever, you are entered to win one of these Clitty cats. That's right. It's a vibrator that looks like a cat. It's called the Clitty. And I think you're going to want to have it. That's right. I think most people associate vibrators with women, but I bet a guy could probably figure out a way to have a fun time with this thing, or maybe he has a girl in his life or whatever. Anyways, enter now. I have 2 to give away. And Yeah, the responses have been hilarious, and it's mostly people private messaging me going, "Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that or did that." I've had phone calls from friends saying, "Holy shit, you just keep doing that." I mean, isn't it interesting? We just mentioned sex or vibrators and people are panicked. So panicked. I've had the greatest, silliest private messages over this thing. One person was inappropriate and I ignored that person. So if that's you, don't be inappropriate with me. Don't private message me yucky things. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm a grown up, I'm a professional. And yes, orgasms are great for your health. They're great for pain relief, they're great for stress relief, they help you sleep better, and a whole slew of other benefits. So I'm not being pervy with you. Don't be pervy with me. But anyways, that giveaway has been awesome. And I've really enjoyed the fallout from that giveaway. So go try to get yourself a Clitty Cat. And there's some other company. The second I published that, another sex toy company reached out and said, "Hey, can we hire you to review or give away our toy?" And I was like, maybe. So we'll see how that goes. Perhaps Asics or Hoka will also reach out and give me some shoes to give away or whatever. But anyways, the Clitty's what's on the table right now. I hope you win it. I hope you win it. All right. I would like to talk to you about the Cocodona 250. So if you're unfamiliar, it's a 250-mile ultra marathon in Flagstaff, Arizona. And if you're thinking, what, 250-mile race? Yes, it's real. Yes, multiple of them exist. And so the marathon distance is 26.2 miles. Anything over that is considered an ultra marathon. So you could register for an ultra that's 26.3 miles long, or one that's 30 miles or 50. 100 is very common. 200 is semi-common. 250 far more rare, but there are definitely quite a few 250 milers. And this is what you got to know. There is a 38,791 feet of elevation gain. That means for 38,000 feet, people are going up, or the athletes are going up. And the highest point on the course is 9,241. Now, note, if I'm at that elevation, I'm pretty much on my back, gasping for air like a fish out of water. So that's really high. The fact that these athletes can start somewhere low, go up high, function at that high level, and continue on for 250 miles is insane. So the course record was set last year in 2025 by a man who ran 250 miles in, listen, 58 hours, 47 minutes, 18 seconds. So again, 58 hours, 47 minutes. This year, the champion was a woman. That's right. Rachel Entrekin, she won the women's championship at the Cocodona 250 in 24 and 25. Imagine doing a 250 miler and thinking, yeah, I want to do that again. I want to do that again soon. And she did it the next year and she won both. And then she came back this year and she beat everybody. And not only did she beat all the women, she beat all the men and she obliterated the course record. Now, normally in marathoning, if someone beats the course record by 30 seconds, we go, oh, they destroyed the course record. Shoot, she beat the course record by, I think it's 2 hours and 38 minutes. Yeah, crazy. So again, last year, the record was set at 58:47. This year, 56 hours and 9 minutes. Whoa. Well, oh, and 48 seconds. Sorry, I don't want to leave that off, but almost 3 hours. She beat last year's champion guy by almost 3 hours. And here's the thing, she didn't just win. Most people, most ultra marathoners, when I see them come through a finish line, they come through and then they lie down on the ground on their back like a starfish. You know what I'm saying? And that's justified. You've run that long. Get down on the ground, bro, and be a starfish. But Rachel, she comes charging towards the finish line like she just got started running. Whoo, 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 easy breezy with a huge smile on her face. And then she stayed upright and she celebrated like a boss. And it was awesome. I've been watching on Instagram from the start through the finish, and she killed it. And she was in great shape. She probably could have done another 250 miles. That's crazy. But she really owned this thing. And then she stuck around. She stuck around to welcome the men's champion. And then I think it was a day and a half, 2 days later, my friend Sally McRae, who's a very talented ultra athlete who's won many, many different races, and she's so sweet. I really love Sally. She's a good person. Sally had a a difficult time at this race. So difficult that she probably should have quit, but that's not who Sally is. Sally will always figure it out and go forward, almost always. Anyway, Sally came through, and the video is so cute because Rachel goes out to greet her, and Sally goes, "What are you doing here? Didn't you finish like a day or two ago?" I don't even know what day it was. It was just a really sweet interaction. Of course, Sally is an angel, but that just speaks so highly of Rachel and who she is. Not only did she crush her event, but then she stuck around to celebrate the athletes who had finished after hers, knowing how difficult it all is. So, congratulations, Rachel. I'd love to have her on my show. I'm going to reach out and see if she'll come and chat with us. But whoa, right? And so let's also talk about whoa. Rachel at one point she had to decide to be a runner. I'm gonna go for a run. Then she decided I want to do a race. Maybe I'll sign up for a 5K. And then she went from 5K to probably a half and then a full marathon. And she thought, I'm going to do this thing fast. And she's won some marathons. So she's made a lot of decisions in her life and then she's lived up to them. She's chosen to be a marathon runner and then she lived up to the training preparation that got her to cross the finish line and then eventually to be a champion. And then she thought, you know what, maybe I could go a little further, right? And she chose 250 miles at least 3 times. I don't know her whole racing history, but this is a woman who says, I'm going to do a 250-mile race, and then she prepares for it. She does everything it takes. She did all the stretching. She did all the strength training. She probably did balance training. She went to bed early. She woke up early. She fueled properly. She got out and she trained like a beast. Do you know what a training run looks like for a 250-mile race? You don't want to know. And then she goes out 3 years in a row and she comes home with a championship trophy. The last one, mind-bogglingly fast. And so she made those choices. Are you making choices that put you at the finish line or in some sort of champion mode of your own life? It's interesting how many people I see get on Facebook or Instagram and say, hey, I'm going to start losing weight. I've got 20 pounds to lose. Watch me go. And then 3 days later, I see them at a bar with a cocktail in their hand, bragging about their Jim Beam or Jack Daniels or whatever the hell it is. What? What? We're not going to celebrate you claiming you're getting started anymore. What we should celebrate is you declaring victory over yourself, over your bad behaviors, over your poor choices, over your laziness. And I'm not calling you lazy. I'm not targeting you. What I want you to know is that if you have any of those things in you, if you slack off, if you make excuses, if you quit, if you fail yourself, enough is enough. There's a Cocodona 250 in you. May not be Cocodona 250. It might be a 5K, and it might be swimming across the lake, and it might be finishing a Zumba class. It doesn't matter to me, but start setting real goals for yourself and start living up to them. Instead of goals, God, screw the goals. Set expectations. This is who I want to be. This is who I will be, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Whatever it takes. I've done that plenty of it in my life. When I decided I was going to fight as a kickboxer, I did all the training because you really have to train, right? When your brain, head trauma's at risk through your sport, you need to train to keep your hands up high, your chin down low, and you need to be able to move your head, and you need to be great at offense. I put all those things together. And when I got 14 days out of my first fight, my coach said, okay, we've got a fight for you. However, she only weighs 114 pounds. I think I weighed 132 at the time. He said, the maximum you can weigh to get in the ring with her is 117. I said, no problem. He said, are you sure? And so within about 14 days, I lost about 15 pounds. And it wasn't because I wanted to lose weight. It was because I wanted to fight. I had this goal. I had this athletic adventure, this exciting opportunity waiting for me. And so I made it happen. Wasn't a good 10 to 14 days. I forget what the time frame was, but I made it happen because I wanted it so badly. And then once I got down to my actual fighting weight, which was 117, I thought, oh, I like it here. I don't want to get bigger again. I'm not going to regain the weight. And then I didn't. I didn't get to my high school weight when I was at the end of both of my pregnancies. The end of both of my pregnancies, I was not as heavy as I was my freshman year of college. I chose that for myself. And then I made it happen. I never, ever did anything that could have put me to 125 or 130 or 135. I just know this is who I am. This is what I want to be. Do you make aggressive choices for your betterment. Do you do that for yourself? And I say not to yourself, for yourself. Sometimes you got to dig your heels in and say, F it. This is who I am. At some point, when I was so light, I mean, I used to be 45 pounds heavier. My family lashed out at me. They got really mad. How dare she lose weight? I mean, they were medium or bigger sized people. My sister was incredibly cruel. She said, you look old. I was only 21, for crying out loud. How old could I have looked? But they were so nasty about my weight loss. You don't eat anything. You've got an eating disorder. And I would tell them, hey, buddy, you know what? I actually used to have an eating disorder and you ignored it. You didn't care. You made it worse. And now that I'm actually healthy, actually eating healthy food and being athletic, now you got a problem? Sawed off, right? So my mother came to Gainesville to visit and we went out to eat a bunch and she finally figured it out. And I remember hearing her tell my family that Fitz doesn't starve herself. She eats a lot. She just eats a lot of healthy food. She's particular about what she puts in her mouth. She's disciplined. And I thought, hot damn, Mom, you just nailed it. That's right. And then she said this, she would sooner eat a shoe than she would go eat a tray of donuts. It just doesn't even look like food to her anymore. And that was true. There's things I will not eat because they're unedible. I've decided they are not edible for someone like me with my goals, with my expectations of my health and my physique. And so you have to be that person. You have to decide what matters to you and then dig your heels in, make it happen. I tell you what, when I was sick and I lost all that weight, I didn't like being hyper skinny. I didn't like being hyper weak. I didn't like being hyper flabby. I didn't like any of it. And so I made a decision that I would get back to strong and fit and resilient and vibrant. And I did. And so I'm no superhero. And Rachel is no superhero. We were just girls who made a choice and then we stuck to it. We acted accordingly to the game plan, executed discipline, and all of you could do it. Because, if I asked you right now, what are your fitness goals? And you gave me 5, boom, these are exactly the things I want to accomplish. If I took one of your loved ones and I held them at the end of a cliff and said, okay, do it, or I will push this person, I know that you would conquer all of your goals to save that person's life. And so save your own life. Save your own life. Rachel's out there living large. Holy smokes, is she living large? I want you to live large as well, on your own terms, on the things that excite you, on the things that make you feel good, on the things that make you feel strong. Get to work, right? I know. I go off on these tangents, but I freaking care so much. I mean, if you only loved yourself as much as I loved you or love you. And we will be right back.
Are you looking for the perfect gift for a loved one battling cancer? The Cancer Comeback Series by Fitz offers hope, inspiration, and practical guidance. With Your Healthy Cancer Comeback, My Noisy Cancer Comeback, and The Healthy Cancer Comeback Journal. These books are a lifeline for all patients and survivors. Right now, you can order autographed copies at a special discount. Show your support and help a loved one go from sick to strong. Visit fitzness.com today. That's FITZNESS.com. Fitzness.com.
We're back. Okay, speaking of love, I just lost a friend, a very special friend, Kelly Ryan. I met her in 21. I had just published my book, My Noisy Cancer Comeback, and I was a guest on a North Central Florida popular talk radio show. And Dennis Ryan, Kelly's husband, heard me. So he went home that night and he said, hey, Kelly, I heard this woman on Bob Rose, and you should get her book. So Kelly texted me or private messaged me and said, hey, my husband told me about your book. I'm going to order it. I could use some inspiration. And so we connected quite quickly and learned that we had a lot in common. She was Air Force. She was Army National Guard, a true patriot, someone who loves this country and is willing to sacrifice for it. We both had Jeep Wranglers. We both loved the outdoors and running. And she had glioblastoma. I mean, how grateful am I that I had breast cancer and not glioblastoma, which is brain cancer, which is very difficult to beat. It's one of the most difficult to treat. But she would go in and out of remission. And when she was feeling great, she would travel with her husband and they would go run races. She was supposed to come run the public Savannah Women's Half Marathon with me, but that got canceled because of the stupid COVID stuff. She ended up running Rock and Roll Half Marathon in Savannah. And then soon after, I see her and her husband running the Dublin Half Marathon in Ireland. And so she had a real zest for life and joy. And so she passed on April 26th. And the next day, her husband texted me and said, "Hey, Kelly, you were very important to Kelly. I wanted to let you know she passed." And honestly, I hadn't heard from her in a couple of months, but I had thought she was out adventuring. Honestly, I just thought things were going great, but the opposite was true. And so I went to her funeral the other day, the 11th, May 11th, and it was a beautiful service in a massive church, Meadowbrook in Ocala, and very worthy of her. But I walked in and they had a slideshow playing, and it just instantly broke me because of the joy. She was so happy, so smiley. And there's a lot of photos of her having fun with people she loved throughout the years and doing things during her treatment, doing over the past 6 years, all the fun she had and all the connections she made. But there was photos of her in the last month of her life, I'm guessing. And even so sick, so frail, she was still so filled with joy. And so it's a hard one. It's a tough one. It's, yeah. I mean, I don't have any answers. I don't know why healthy girls like Kelly and I get diagnosed with cancer. I don't know why I get to survive and she doesn't. But Dennis, Ryan, her husband, such a sweet man. They were married for 35 years. He waited on her hand and foot. And I know she returned the favor with just as much joy and engagement as humanly possible. They traveled. They just did life together. And what a beautiful gift. So during the ceremony or the service, they asked if anyone would say a few words. And I did. And I started it off. I got up there and I had the biggest pit in my stomach, which I never do when I'm on a microphone. Normally, I'm so excited to be connecting with people in an audience, but that's really hard. I've given quite a few eulogies, and what a privilege to be able to speak on someone's behalf and honor them, but just really hard. And so, what I asked them and what I'll ask you is honor Kelly Ryan, who was a hottie. She was part of my Hottie Body Fitzness Challenge. If you're a part of that, great. If not, you should join it. It's a free group on Facebook. I'd love to have you there, but do better. Even in the face of brain cancer, she was always smiling. She was always trying to get outdoors. She was always trying to have fun. I went to visit her the day after one of her brain surgeries here in Gainesville, and she was delightful. We were giggling. We spent a couple hours with her husband and her family, and we just giggled the whole time. And so maybe you could add a little Kelly Ryan to your life, right? A little spirit of Kelly Ryan takes over you when you're thinking about being a grouch or you're thinking about being a slouch. Get up and go do something wonderful and fun for Kelly, but for yourself, right? Because really that's what it's all about, is making your life so well lived that when people attend your funeral, no matter how old you are, they're sad, but they're proud of you, that they're appreciative that you had a wonderful life, even if it was cut short. That's Kelly to me. Okay, folks. So communication tip of the show. Real easy. I want you to learn how to type properly. I learned in middle school, the home keys, you put your right fingers on J, K, L, semicolon, your left hand goes A, S, D, F, and then you work from there. You can get on YouTube and learn how to type properly for free. But since that's our main form of written communication, I think you should know, stop hunting and pecking. If you learn your home keys, you can type without even looking at the keyboard. You can type much faster, type with fewer errors. I think it's a really valuable skill. I still love writing things down. I put pen to paper quite frequently. However, home keys. And then, of course, if you have children, please teach them because they're not learning cursive. So fine, they learn how to print and then they learn how to type. Home keys. And then our song of the show, I can't not do this. We're going with Michael Jackson this week because of, the movie Michael Jackson. And it's my favorite song, The Way You Make Me Feel. It's my favorite Michael Jackson song, The Way You Make Me Feel. So listen to that while you are doing anything cardio, because you want to move your body around a lot. And definitely listen to it in your car and sing really loud like I do, because that just makes every day a little bit better. Folks, I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit subscribe and download and get to work. Bye, team. Mwah.
Hi, this is Rudy Novotny, the voice of America's Marathons. We all love how much running has benefited every aspect of our lives, so much so that most of us only wish we'd started sooner. Wouldn't it be wonderful to gift the opportunity to children of today? Well, you can. The Morning Mile is a before-school walking and running program that gives children a chance to start each day in an active way while enjoying fun, music, and friends. That's every child, every day. It's also supported by a wonderful system of rewards, which keeps students highly motivated and frequently congratulated. Created by our favorite fitness expert, Fitz Kohler, morning milers across the country have run over 2 million miles and are having greater success with academics, behavior, and sports because of it. The Morning Mile is free to the child, free to the school, and is inexpensively funded by businesses or generous individuals. Help more kids get moving in the morning by visiting morningmile.com. Champion the program at your favorite school or find out more about sponsorship opportunities. That's morningmile.com. Long may you run.